2008, we were putting on the premiere of the Lazarus Requiem in the Cadogan Hall, and I needed a good harpist. And I was reading a newspaper, and there was an article about Claire having been appointed Royal Harpist. So I got in touch with her agent, spoke to Claire, and that all happened.
I had the privilege of being appointed as the official harpist to His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales back in 2007. And a few years after that, I met Patrick, and it was such an exciting time.
Discussions began to take place about writing a piece for Claire to play alongside the Philharmonia strings for the Prince's 60th birthday. And I wrote a piece about his garden.
There came the idea from Patrick of composing a piece called Goddess of the Woods, which later became the first movement of the Highgrove Suite.
We chose the Goddess of the Woods, a statue in the Stumpery with a tree house where the young Prince William and Prince Harry would play. And in one corner there's a couple of leprechauns who also found their way into the music.
It really does translate into the music, the magical side of the gardens.
After the premiere, I was introduced to the Prince of Wales, and I said that I could have written more pieces about his garden. And so the decision was made for me to write a 4-movement suite, and that's how the Highgrove Suite came about.
For a harpist to have a brand new work written, and also for it to be a concerto, is something extremely memorable and really truly inspiring for me as a performer.
Of course, the Goddess of the Woods came first. Next came the Gladiator, because I went to the gardens in the winter 2009 and I looked at the Gladiator from a distance, and for some reason I just heard boom, 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 and immediately I heard dum da da dum da da dum da 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 dum da da dum da da dum da 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 going on over that. And when you get such a as a composer, it doesn't always happen that strongly. You've got to get to your pen and paper or your computer, and that movement flowed very quickly. And then Sanctuary, the words written around the door to that chapel. Light in our darkness we beseech thee, O Lord. Again, the music wrote itself.
One of my favourite parts in the Highgrove Suite is the Sanctuary, and it's a place where the Prince of Wales is able to go to in order for peace and tranquility to really take over.
And finally, the Wildflower Meadow, which is of course the second movement in the suite, but that was like a kind of a joyful topping off of the whole work. The premiere of the Highgrove Suite took place on the 8th of June 2010 in the Orchard Room at Highgrove, and I can remember clearly the stillness of the garden, and the birdsong was so prominent, it was almost deafening. And indeed afterwards the Prince of Wales wrote to me and commented on the background score of the birdsong.
I remember very vividly being on stage with Patrick conducting, the Philharmonia accompanying, and us feeling the excitement and also the nervous energy that came just before doing a premiere for His Royal Highness. There were many moments in the piece where I can also remember feeling quite emotional and touched by the music and the beautiful melodies that Patrick had written, and looking outside and seeing this garden really was truly unique.
To hear it performed by such a world-class orchestra, let alone Claire's performance, which was just peerless. I mean, she knew it inside out. And there was a real sense of something being born, about a garden, within the garden, that it was written about. Once the work had finished, the Prince of Wales came over to me and shook my hand, and I could see in his eyes that he was deeply moved.
The day after the premiere at Highgrove House, I can remember being on a huge high because things had gone so well at the premiere, and now we were heading down to Henrywood Hall to record the concerto with Patrick and the Philharmonia.
During the recording, I said to myself, gosh, you are conducting this incredible orchestra, the Philharmonia, and I was very humbled by the fact that I knew they were giving me everything. And what more could a composer ask for from an orchestra like that, playing their heart out from your music? It's hard to believe it's 10 years ago since the premiere. What is fantastic, of course, is that it still lives and breathes. And I know it's been performed by orchestras around the world.
I'm so pleased that the Highgrove Suite has been such a popular and a requested work. I really do look back on it with great pride, and I enjoyed every single second.
I hope I'm here in another 10 years to say how thrilled I am that it's still being performed and listened to.